What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. I want to talk to you today about a little transition that I had in financial coaching, kind of the way I thought about financial coaching, the way I kind of approached financial coaching that was awesome for me mentally. And it was a little bit of a light bulb moment when I realized that, and I've said this, that financial coaching should just be a conversation, but I want to get into the weeds just a little bit and maybe help you out because I think early financial coach Pete did some things that just felt differently than current financial coach Pete, right? And early financial coach Pete was probably wound up and stressed out about going into financial coaching calls. I was probably tighter than a frog's butt in the deep end of a pool, right? And every time I'd go into a financial coaching call, I was thinking, like, am I in tune to some of the issues? And, do I have enough financial knowledge to address some of the questions? Am I going to get ambushed with something that I don't know? And when is that financial coaching moment going to come up? And am I going to miss that moment when we're talking about motivation and breaking through? And am I going to miss that eureka moment? And over the years, I have realized that a lot of new financial coaches, I think, get wound up by this, right? And it's kind of stressful to go into financial coaching. And for me, I'm almost maybe too laid back about it sometimes. I should even have a new financial coaching client coming in today. And so we're going to be doing a first session today. And one of the things that I can tell you about it is that I am totally at ease. I'm totally zen about it because I don't know what's going to come of it. But, it may be nothing. Maybe, this person will not become a client for me. But I'm totally cool with that, and part of that is just kind of my mindset change over the years. So I want to talk about a little bit of the nuance of why I say that financial coaching should just be a conversation, but I want to add some detail, right? So financial coaching should be a conversation until I find a coaching moment, right? That's where I am right now. And financial coaching should not be disguised as a conversation. And what I mean by this is that I think if you were to see me doing financial coaching years ago, maybe not even at the very, very early stages of my financial coaching career, but just maybe back a few years ago, the coaching experience to the participant, to the client, may not look that much different than it does right now. It may actually look and feel about the same. But I can tell you that what I was doing, me personally, on the coaching end, was I was a missile trying to seek out a target. I was going into those calls hyper aware of every word that was being said, every story that was being told, every disclosure about their background and struggle and success and all these things. And I'm trying to process them, looking for that moment that I can apply some sort of coaching strategy or financial tip, right? Because I was a missile trying to find a moment to get that into the conversation because in some part of me, I was thinking, hey, someone's hiring me to do financial coaching and I want to add value. And the way I'm going to add value is to keep throwing out all these amazing things and just overwhelm them, feed them with a fire hose, and have them coming out of that call saying, oh, hallelujah, Peter just overwhelmed me, filled my mind with all of these great financial ideas, solved everything. And I'm coming out saying, wow, I don't even know if I can go into another session with that because I just don't know that I have the capacity for it. And I was looking for those opportunities, right? So even though we were having a conversation, then I would interject with financial coaching types of things. Like I said, maybe financial education, maybe something about behavior modification, whatever it might be. I was looking for those things and kind of stressed out when we were having these lulls in the conversation where it might have just been talking about the family, or it might just be background, or it just might be inventory taking on their assets, whatever it is. And I'm saying, hey, when are we going to get to a point where I can really serve up something that's real coaching? But the reality is I have done a 180, and now I don't have a conversation, or I don't do financial coaching disguised as a conversation. I have a conversation waiting for financial coaching moments. Okay. And again, this is probably not a super obvious change to the clients, but instead of a missile seeking the target now, I am like a basketball hoop that just receives the basketball. So I just go into these as a conversation. And like I said, some of these may not be financial coaching. Maybe the person doesn't need financial coaching. Maybe at the end of them, I'll tell them, listen, what you need is this person. What you need is a financial counselor, or what you need is a financial advisor, or what you need is just a good friend to talk to, or an accountability partner, or whatever it is. So I'm kind of go in one freed with the knowledge that maybe I am not the right fit for them, as opposed to being stressed out about trying to make sure that I provide financial coaching value. But also, I'm just going to go in that conversation. And if we get to the end of the hour and I don't see an opportunity for me to really add value to it, well, no. And that's why I would recommend them out to someone, or maybe we don't continue on in that relationship. But sometimes I will go through that hour and they'll say, hey, this was really useful for me just to kind of think through all this stuff. And wow, just going through all my debts here has made me aware of what I had. I've never done this inventory before, so there might be things like that. But if I am that basketball hoop and there are those moments when I can talk about something, even if it's just a tip, like, are you familiar with the debt snowball? They say I've got 3 debts and, kind of small credit card here and a large credit card. And I try to spread out the payments evenly, right? Okay, maybe I can say, hey, here's a strategy. Let's tackle that small one first, right? And it can be something that is just like a layup, something that everyone talks about, but to them, it could be really good value. So for me, again, it's a small thing, but now I just go in having a conversation. And if those moments, those 2, 3, 5, 10 moments that come up that I'm prepared for because of my years of financial coaching, whether it's financial knowledge and education, maybe it's talking about something in the news, maybe it's talking about why they've gotten themselves into this situation, maybe it's something about their relationship and maybe a disconnect with their spouse or whatever it might be, right? Then I will go ahead and try to serve up to those and live up to those and punch up to those so that I can deliver some value. But instead of uh, gritting and staying stressed and waiting for those moments and hoping for those moments, I will let those moments come. So hopefully, if you are finding yourself stressed about, am I providing enough value? Am I getting enough information in here? Am I driving, leading, guiding, mentoring enough? Those types of things. Am I even providing information that they're looking for? Am I going to have the answers that they need? Right? If you're getting really stressed out about those things, think about this. I think you're the missile looking for the target as opposed to the hoop receiving the ball. And you don't have to be out there proactively listening and trying to kind of artificially force fit a suggestion or a tip or guidance or education in. Be more casual. It's a little easier said than done, but to be casual and just realize, hey, go in as a conversation. Financial coaching is a conversation. And when you have those moments where you can provide value as a financial coach, then you can step up to those, right? Then you can recognize that and lean into them. But you don't necessarily have to find those moments, and just be aware that the clock is not necessarily ticking, because you might have an hour schedule with someone and you're getting closer and closer, and you kind of feel a pressure of, hey, I'm still haven't provided my value, Just realize you may get there. Maybe you don't do anything, and maybe that client is just grateful for a sounding board, an accountability partner, whatever it is. You might be surprised, but there isn't a checklist or a number of ticks that you have to knock off on every coaching session, right? So treat them all individually. Just go into them as a conversation and let those coaching moments just be recognized for what they are, and then tackle them at that point. So hopefully that helps you maybe de-stress a little. I'll see you later.